Hello there, welcome to our live stream. My name is Sam and we are the Wellermen. Yeah. We're going to be singing some songs for you this evening, some shanties that you may have already heard us do on TikTok and other social media platforms. But before we do, I want to give a big thank you to the Marine Conservation Society for hosting us. It's an absolute pleasure to be associated with them. In fact, if you haven't already downloaded or streamed Wellerman that we released only a few weeks ago, why not? Oh, don't worry, just do it after our live stream. Yeah, and just leave it on a loop, so we can churn up as many views as possible and donate as much money as we can to this wonderful charity. But before that, we're going to sing some songs for you. So I think we'll start with Leave Her Johnny. Why not? Shall we take it away? Yeah, let's take it away.
I thought I heard the old man say, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Tomorrow you will get your pay, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Oh, the wind was foul and the sea ran high. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. She shipped it green and none went by, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her.
The Wellermen, Samuel Pope, Jonny Stewart, Bobby Waters and Luke Taylor were formed after the viral TikTok sea shanty trend. And despite never having met each other in person and being from across the globe, Massachusetts, Kent, Pennsylvania and London, they have now over 1.5 million followers and 20 million likes on TikTok, have been featured on The Colbert Show, ABC News Australia and Forbes magazine. Now they will sing Drunken Sailor.
What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises. Early in the morning, shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor. Early in the morning, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises. Early in the morning, put him in a longboat till he's sober, put him in a longboat till he's sober, put him in a longboat till he's sober. Early in the morning, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises. Early in the morning, put him in a bed with the captain's daughter, put him in a bed with the captain's daughter, put him in a bed with the captain's daughter. Early in the morning, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises. Early in the morning, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises. Early in the morning.
The Marine Conservation Society is the UK's leading marine charity, doing everything we can to recover, protect and celebrate our ocean and all the incredible creatures that live there. We were absolutely delighted when the Wellermen announced that they were going to be supporting our charity work and the work of all of our volunteers and supporters with the release of their single. So now the Wellermen will sing the song that started it all, Wellermen, with all proceeds from this release being donated to the Marine Conservation Society.
There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was the Billy of Tea. The winds blew up her bow, dip down, oh blow my bully boys blow. Soon may the Wellermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the Wellermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take and board her when she does not gone. The Wellerman makes his regular call to encourage the captain, crew and all. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may we have Bobby up that way.
Hello.
And we have Luke.
Aloha.
All right. We've already seen a few of your comments, and we've seen that you've a lot of you picked up on the fact that Aaron isn't with us at the moment. So Luke's going to embellish on that.
So I'm just going to start in saying he was not kicked out or anything like that. So as a college student as well, Aaron just said that he was trying to focus on his studies. Again, it's a lot to keep up with, especially in the music industry. There's a lot to do. So he said that he was just going to take some time to focus on his studies. Once a Wellerman, always a Wellerman. So he'll be back, hopefully. But like, especially for me, it's tough balancing all this stuff. So still have a lot of respect for him. Never would lose that. Love the dude to death. So hopefully he'll be back with us soon.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, we're definitely going to try and work with him to get him on at least a few of the tracks on the upcoming album. And he's already expressed that he wants to be involved, and we desperately want him involved as well. So we'll make sure that we work something out. We've also seen a few of you mentioned the keen eye amongst you may have noticed that the music you listened to was pre-recorded. There is a reason for that Jonny's going to explain.
So, isn't something that's super possible right now. Even when people use wired internet with super fast speeds, singing with each other virtually isn't as possible as we'd like it to be right now. But with this stream, we decided to try and replicate the live experience as closely as possible. So with each of the 3 tracks, what we did was the lead recorded their part. So Sam for 2 of them, and then Luke for Leave Her Johnny. And then that was all done in 1 take. And then we sent it to the bass to record, again, all in 1 take. And then the baritone, which was me, and then whoever was on tenor. So we did it all in 1 take, having listened to each other's recorded takes. There hasn't been like pitch or time correction on the parts at all. We just wanted to make it like as authentic a live experience as we can, whilst also accepting that the internet is what it is. In like an ideal world, we would be meeting up in person to sing these sea shanties across the seas, but that's the world we're living in. Right?
Like that was actually us singing in the seas. Just to clarify.
Good clarification. So I've got a bunch of your questions here that are being sent through. So I'm going to try and just throw them about the place and see what we say. The first one we've got here is to Luke. It says, Luke, how can you manage all the TikTok, Instagram, YouTube things and all your college stuff?
It is very difficult. It's honestly very stressful, but I love it. So if I did not enjoy this much, I definitely wouldn't be doing it. But so I did not want to get a manager. I really didn't. But I finally got one 2 weeks ago. And as most of y'all know who follow me, I make sure I read all the comments that I can. That takes up a lot of time. So when I'm not eating, studying, or sleeping, I am answering emails, getting texts, and just trying to read through all your comments, check all your mentions, stuff like that. So it's tough, but I could not be happier with how far I've come. So
yeah, it's definitely a lot on your plate there. I can't
as a 30-year-old that hasn't been in school for a while, I can't imagine what it's like to deal with all that. We've also got questions coming in saying, are we planning on recruiting members? Well, I mean, we are in the process, as you may or may not have heard, of working on some more tracks and hoping to bring out an album in the not too distant future. But we're kind of starting that process now. And part of that process is reaching out to a lot of other TikTokers and other singers that we've all had either the pleasure of duetting and talking to on TikTok or and all that kind of stuff. So we will be trying to get as many people as we can involved with our album. Bobby, yeah, you kind of, who have you been in touch with for that?
So so one of the people that I most recently reached out to was Lauren Paley. Many of you might know her. If you follow my stuff, I did like a Halo little song with her. Like she like sang like the soprano part, and then I just did the bass part below that. So we're really excited to have her on board for that. So and we just confirmed that she is able to be on one of our songs, which is a secret right now. I'm not going to say which song yet, so it's going to be a surprise. So that's very exciting.
Exciting stuff, yeah. So stay tuned for all that. We'll be trying to push out as much information as we can as things happen. So on all of our social media platforms. We've got a few more questions here. How old are you guys? Well, personally, I'm 30, nearly 31 actually. I'm 31 near the end of February.
I'm 29, which is the next oldest.
And I'm 22, which is the next oldest. A couple years younger though. And I'm a senior in college.
I am 19 years old and I'm a freshman in college, so I'm the baby of the group.
Yet you get the manliest voice. It's not fair. How is that fair?
I think
the
Bobby's
oldest voice compared to the
my high-pitched squeaky voice. There we go. Where do we all come from? I personally come from Kent. I'm about 45 minutes an hour south of London in England, where I'm at the moment.
I'm from Scotland, although I do not sound like it at all. Dad's from Edinburgh, mum's from Dunfermline, but they lost their accents when they moved down south. I grew up in Winchester and I'm now based in London.
So I live in Massachusetts right now in the US, and I was born like 40 minutes away from Boston in a little town called Walpole, and that's where I live right now.
So I am from a little town called Thornton in Pennsylvania. Most people know that it's near Westchester, which is about 45 minutes west of Philadelphia. So that's where I call home, but I'm currently living in Virginia for college, as you can see, because I'm in my dorm.
So are you West Philadelphia, born and raised?
Born and raised. Oh, no.
On the playground, where he spent most of his days.
I had to, I'm so sorry. Next question we have. Hi guys, I work for MCS and my 7-year-old daughter is so keen to know which one of you has the lowest voice and what's the lowest note you can do. It's me. It's absolutely
It is 100%. Actually, Luke and I are just lip syncing the bass the entire time. Sam is singing all those contra notes.
We actually just hired a boat to like use the foghorn and hit those notes for us. So
yeah, who's the lowest voice between you and Bobby? Is it? I mean,
Bobby.
I feel like it varies because
like
as
chest voice,
basses have off and on days.
Yeah. So I feel like chest voice is very similar. I feel like we talked about this before.
Yeah.
But I usually drop out in my chest around an A or a B flat one. And I can't really do subharmonics. The lowest note I've ever hit in my chest, I don't know how I did it, but I hit an F1 in my chest one time, which was super cool. But Bobby is insane at subharmonics and all that stuff, and I can't do that, but I'm learning it. So
yeah,
always learning.
Yeah,
always learning. So there we go. Next question. Oh yes, we're going to mention that when we mentioned before about collaborating with some other artists for the album, we are currently in the process of talking to the Longest Johns about collaborating with them, which we are incredibly excited about because they are almost sea shanty royalty at this point. They were involved with the music and the movement well before TikTok caught up and decided it was a good thing. And they've released some fantastic versions of sea shanties, written some beautiful and some amazing arrangements of their own stuff as well. So if you haven't already checked out The Longest Johns, make sure you do. because I don't know about the other guys, but personally, a lot of their music and their versions of sea shanties was an inspiration for me doing a lot of my TikToks and videos. I don't know what the other guys think up there. Oh, are we all still here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Just like enraptured.
Yeah, everything looked like it froze on my screen.
10% of the album is looking like sea shanties, maybe just over half, and then the rest is a mixture of folk songs, stuff that fits the shanty idiom of being like homophonic, sort of almost choral voices. And there are one or two tracks that you might not necessarily expect on a sea shanty folk album, but we know you're going to love. We're going to try and incorporate as much material from our own TikTok, like some stuff that Bobby's put out on his page, for example. Because obviously, it would be great to get like studio versions of stuff that you guys have all seen on TikTok.
Absolutely. Yeah, there we go. I appreciate that. I do have the stream up on my second screen here, and I appreciate it's dropping out every now and then. So apologies for that. Hopefully you haven't missed too much important information or the setup for a question as well, because then the answer is not going to make any sense to you. So hopefully you're still following us. The next question, while I can see the stream is still working, is: do you have a favorite sea creature? Luke, you go first.
I like manatees. I feel like if I were a sea animal, I'll be a manatee.
Yes.
They're just kind of awkward, but they're cute in their own way,
They're
and
lovable.
nobody really knows what to do with them. So I love them.
They're amazing. Well, manatees, the ones that are labeled as are they the cows of the sea, or are they?
Sea cows.
Yeah.
Sea cows.
They're big friendly sea cows. They're lovely. About Bobby.
I don't know. I guess I just have to go with the shark, classic shark, probably great white.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Why
Strong,
not? Jaws.
Powerful.
Strong, powerful,
Yeah,
great for movie franchises.
Yeah, but disrupted with a simple punch on the nose. So. About
Now
Jonny.
you know.
Now we know.
I was going to say the manatee, but that would not be very original. So I guess my second favorite would be an octopus.
Oh, nice.
They're very, 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 very smart creatures.
Yeah. There's some amazing different species of octopus as well that can completely morph their bodies into looking like coral and other things on the bottom of the sea.
Yeah, changing colors and stuff.
Yeah, fascinating.
Nuts.
Fascinating creatures. I think I will have to go with seals because they are the dogs of the sea. And I would just love to own a seal and be able to and just be able to like play with it and cuddle it and teach it tricks. But yeah, I'd go with seals or mermaids, but you know that's entirely up to whether you think they're real or not. Because if you don't think they're real, you're wrong. They're definitely real. There's too many songs about them not for them to be real. Right, another question: who sings the highest notes? I think that was me. It was a combination of me and Aaron, wasn't it? Aaron did a bunch of higher singing.
Yeah,
as
you
well.
guys had the higher parts.
Yeah, and it was a combination of the two of us. Believe it or not, before I did sea shanties, I was predominantly I worked in musical theatre. I still do work in musical theatre. It's just musical theatre isn't happening right now. But I did a predominantly rock musicals. A couple of them, one based on a band called the Small Faces, and I was about to go on tour with the Meatloaf musical at the beginning of the year. Before everything shut down. So yeah, the sea shanties don't really show it off, but I can hit some. I don't know what my highest one is. I think I've hit I don't really deal in the numbers. I'm not very musically literate, but is it above like a top C for a guy? I think I can hit a top D sometimes on a good day.
Nice.
What number's that?
Like in the sixth octave or fifth octave?
Which is middle C.
Oh, four. Middle
four.
C is
So
4.
5 then, which is like chest voice. So that's all right.
Oh, very nice.
That's like, but that's only like in the right song. You know, when it just hits you, you can kind of naturally get yourself there. If I just had to suddenly do it, I'd sound like a dying fox. Right. What's the next question? Is it true Luke can speak German?
Yes, it is.
We were just talking about
We
that.
were.
Yeah. So, like for a couple of my like early videos, I saw a lot of people commenting in German, and I speak a decent amount of German. So I'd comment back, and then people didn't really notice it until like a month ago, and now like 10% of my followers are German. But I studied in Berlin for a little bit, so that was cool. I'm definitely not a professional German speaker, but I can communicate. I could order a cheeseburger if you ask me to. So I can speak as if I were a toddler. So, yeah.
Does that mean that when you go to Germany, people are going to be buying you stuff because toddlers can't buy their own stuff? That
would be nice. Yeah, as long as I'm not footing the bill, I'm fine with it. So
might not buy you beers though. That's the only downside. No.
Yeah.
Next question is, what is your favorite song? That seems like a very general question, so I'm not going to go with sea shanties. I'm going to say my favorite song of all time is probably not very well known. It's a song called Black Coffee by a band called Humble Pie, which is a beautiful blues. How I learned about his music, and his voice is just it's just gorgeous and high and soulful. So if you haven't listened to it, go and check out Black Coffee by Humble Pie, and I assure you will not regret it. That's my
mood I'm in at any given time. I think I've got like a top 10, but because we've just had Valentine's Day, it's quite a sort of smushy time of year. The song I have on repeat right now is Die Happy Man by Thomas Rhett. Despite being based in the UK, I'm a bit of a country fan. So I've got a soft spot for that for sure.
Again, I guess like I have like different times where I love songs more than others. So I don't really know if I have a favorite song, but like one that I'm into right now is probably Bury a Friend by Billie Eilish.
Nice.
So that's
for those of y'all who know me, you probably know that my biggest dream would be to be a country singer. I know not a lot of people like country, but I love country. My two favorite songs are Wouldn't Be a Man by Josh Turner. It's a really good low song, one of my favorites to sing. And then Beer for My Horses by Toby Keith and Willie Nelson. Just get your head pumping. So I love them.
Gotta have some Josh Turner.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, next question. It says, okay, so I'm curious, do you guys have any tips on trying to hit lower notes whilst singing? I'm 19 and my voice still can't decide on some songs whether to sing high or low. I think that's a question for these guys over here. Luke and Bobby and Johnny.
Well, I can say that singing low range wise, it hadn't really come from practice. It more just came from genetics, where my voice was naturally low as I progressed through my years in living. But tips for singing low notes, I'd always say relax into the note. You never want to push for the note because you can end up hurting your voice and losing some low notes that way. So just relax into the low notes. And also, if you want to try and get them louder, instead of pushing, try and create as much space as you can within your mouth to and lower your larynx a little bit to really try and resonate and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But those are some basic tips.
One big tip for me, everybody always thinks that like only belters need like a lot of breath support, but singing low notes actually requires the most air. So it's really important to take deep breaths, use your diaphragm, and make sure you just ride out the note. Like, don't try to push it all out at once, because then you'll either end up being sharp or flat, and then you'll lose tone and stuff like that. So if you can just support yourself and just ride along the note, definitely goes a lot smoother. But you definitely don't want to force the low notes, because you can really hurt your voice. So
good tips. Next question is, how did you guys get involved with the Marine Conservation Society? Johnny, do you want to take this one?
So when we were thinking about releasing a collaborative version of the Wellerman, having chatted to a few labels about it, because with sea shanties getting an unprecedented amount of public exposure, at least with regards to like internet and whatnot. We decided that like a marine conservation charity would be ideal to partner with. And it just so happens that the Marine Conservation Society is the largest such charity in the UK. Raise a bit of money for them. Yeah, I think the song has over 850,000 streams on Spotify at the moment, and I'm not sure of the other figures for downloads. But all of those streams, proceeds from that is going to be helping the MCS in their work. So if you streamed it so far, thank you so much for allowing us to do that.
And if you haven't, go do it.
Do it,
Not
yeah.
right now because we're still talking, but afterwards, go do it. You know, just loop it. Like I said before, just keep playing it over and over. Just leave the volume off and put it in a room somewhere and play it. Next question is, what's been your favourite seaside adventure? Has anyone got any seaside adventures they want to share? Or
So my family, we like to we travel. Oh, at least we try to once every 4 years. So when I was 16, I think, we got to travel to like Croatia, Montenegro, a whole bunch of those countries across from Italy. Super beautiful. One of the best days of my entire life. We just got to be on a yacht, like not a big yacht, but just like our family, like our cousins and stuff. We got to sail around. We went scuba diving. We ate sea urchins like right out of the ocean.
Wow.
You could see 30 feet down to the bottom. It was beautiful. So
Are they
Gorgeous.
tasty, sea urchins?
they're weird. You either love them or hate them. Like my sister is very, very picky. She did not eat anything aside from chicken fingers until she was probably like 15.
Honestly, same though.
So she
Amazing.
Sounds cool.
Anyone else
I
got
have
any
to say
experiences?
that one that just came to mind a couple years, well, not a couple years, and one of the days called like a skiff boat or something, where like it's just like a flat boat that everyone's just standing on, and then there's like a little net that's right above the water that you can lay down on. And we went to these little like islands where, and I wish I could do that again. That was crazy cool. And I wish we were
Oh,
singing
yeah,
sea
that'd
shanties
be
as
so
we
good.
did, because that
Oh,
would have been even
God.
better.
That sounds dreamy. I don't have anything quite that fun. Shout out if anyone's listening from Christchurch, Dorset. It's where my parents live. I also spent a summer working at the Noisy Lobster restaurant. Delightful name restaurant, but amazing food. I've had a few messages of congratulations from a few of the staff there. If you're watching, then great.
Hey, brilliant stuff. I think mine was I went down to just popped down to Mexico once, you know, just casually.
As you do.
Just popped down there and ended up going out on a boat and swimming with whale sharks, which was amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, they are incredible creatures. They're huge, massive things. But the way they do it is that you sit on the edge of the boat, much like scuba diving. You sit on the edge of the boat and we didn't have tanks or anything, but with your flippers on and your snorkel. And then because there's no, you know, they're just free, these sharks. So they just have to use sonar to figure out roughly where they are. And if they think they've found them, then they'll just park their boats in front of where the shoal or whatever you call it is heading. And then they'll just go, right, we're going to tell you when to jump in just a minute. Okay, now! And then you go, oh shit. And then you have to just like drop off backwards. And you just get dropped right in front of these whale sharks as they're coming right to, when the bubble's clear, you just see these massive whale sharks coming towards you, which is very intimidating. But apparently they're really friendly. So, and I didn't get bitten, so that's a good thing. But
Always a pro.
Yeah, always
Never
a
get
pro.
bitten.
Oh man, you're a pro if you have to get bitten to be a pro. I think it's probably.
Oh.
So, you know, Steve Owen, he knew all about that. Rest in peace. Next question: can we expect a sea shanty about manatees, great white sharks, octopus, and seals in the future? I mean, yeah, I want to write that already. So
We should make that happen. There was someone on
definitely
TikTok, like Melinda Music, who did an amazing one about puffins.
yes,
So
I did see that.
Maybe
yeah.
we should expand this for future sea creatures.
I agree. I'm keeping that message, and we'll work on that at some point. And we've got another couple of questions, 2 more questions. This is the penultimate question: is what is each of your favourite sea shanties? Who wants to start? Favourite sea shanty? Anyone want to jump in? Yes, no, maybe. Everyone's thinking.
Mine is a less well-known one called the Mingale Boat Song. I've been listening to it before the TikTok sea shanty craze kicked off. My girlfriend's such a big fan of like the song and that sort of style. So that's like been on rotation for a while. And you might hit that one on the upcoming album.
Little tease. Oh, you little tease. You. About Bobby.
So I'm not as well versed in every single sea shanty, but I have to say, I think I don't know. I really like Lever, Johnny Lever. Just the tone of the whole song, very emotional and stuff like that.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful piece. How about
Very
Luke?
beautiful.
I'm honestly with Bobby on that one. I love that song. I also just love like the harmonies in it. It was just really fun to sing. But I also love Wellermen because like the low notes are like my gold notes. But
Very
they're both
nice
just
range
really,
wise, yeah.
yeah, they're very fun songs. I enjoy both of them a lot.
I think
And very, very catchy.
very catchy, yeah, which is important. It's important in a shanty. I think I'm gonna have to go with a Stan Rogers song, Barrett's Privateer. I just think it's one of those shanties that where the melody is not as simple as other ones to pick up, but when you hear it like over and over, it's just beautifully written. Like the lyrics are.
Oh
no.
Frozen.
I think Sam's having a little connection issues. If I'm the only one seeing that.
He's just
maybe we should turn them off and turn them back on again.
That'll work. Turned off, not again.
Yeah. Not as stream, just Sam.
There's one question in the YouTube thread. It's a beard question from a Josh Cooter asking, how do I grow it so long? Mine goes out of control before I can get it to the length of a sea shantyist. It's honestly like trimming it every week, every 2 weeks, just getting rid of the sort of straggly bits around the edge, and otherwise just letting it happen. Fingers crossed you get there soon.
Yeah. People often ask, like, is the beard the power of the low notes? And no,
obviously
my voice
not.
hasn't really. I was about to say.
I was gonna say.
Look at that. But even before I had a beard, the low notes were still there. But yeah, that's the answer for that. No one asked it, but that was on my mind.
Another question, actually from the Longest Johns, who said, "Can we grab a beer together?" So, if we're ever in Europe where I am legally allowed to drink, I at least would love to do that. So,
absolutely.
I'm
Oh,
back.
I think we got Sam back.
I'm back.
There we go.
Yeah. Don't know what happened there. Apologies. But were we talking about drinking?
yeah,
Talking about beers and beards.
Yeah.
With the Longest Johns.
Oh, yes,
specifically.
please.
Yeah.
Yes, please. I desperately need a cheeky pint, I think, from a lovely pub. But I think it's other than that, is that all of our questions done? I think for now. So I think we're close to finishing, guys. So in which case, hang on, I just want to say a big thank you to every one of you that's joined us this evening or this afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Thanks for all your questions. Apologies if we didn't get around to one of your questions, but we will hopefully be able to answer them at some point in the future. You can always contact any of us via our social medias on TikTok, comment on our videos, and we're all kind of very involved in trying to get back as many as we can. So thank you all to everyone who's watched. Thank you to Luke. Thank you to Bobby. Thank you to Johnny. As we mentioned before, make sure you stream Wellerman as much as you possibly can. I want to get those streams up. We're incredibly grateful for the amount of attention it's already got. So thank you all for streaming it so far. But you can never stream it enough. And we will keep you all abridged as to the status of our album. So that's coming. And check us all out on social media platforms. I'm sure we'll be posting a bunch of videos in the future. But yeah, thank you all very much, and have a great day, evening, and week, and month, and year, and everything else. And we'll see you soon.